one thing we're going to do for Sheila is we're going to get the transponders back. So, or get the transponders. There is a loop in the track, but obviously the main guts to it's not there. So, what I'd like to do is the modified Sportsman's and crate lates. We'd like to have transponders on those if you guys can do it, and then next year I'd like to get. I know they're a couple $100 to get them, so hopefully by next season everybody can have them, and that's just going to help her out, and there won't be any issues on what position you're in or anything like that. So I'll let each person stand up for a second, introduce themselves, and then we'll continue on. So we can start with Frank, the race director.
I don't even know what to say. Can you believe this?
Frank, speak. That's a first.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Frank Guerrero Sr. And first I'd like to say congratulations to Tyler Siri and welcome the whole staff that's going to back this whole operation for the 2016 season. So just a couple issues I'd like to, not issues, but a couple of things I'd like to say. And one is with one-way radios. They are mandatory, so please have them radios because we're going to try to move this show right along where we try to get you guys out of there by 10:30, 11 o'clock at the latest. And then Tyler is going to talk a little bit more about our hot pit deal. So obviously when we'll open the floor to questions here shortly, and now I'll let Bubba take the floor.
All right, I'm Bubba Arms. I'm going to be your head tech inspector. What we're going to do this year is all cars need to have pick points. Obviously, modifieds and late models pretty much already got them. They need to have them front and rear of the car. That way we can get them off the track fast. Now, as far as everyone needs to make weight, no allowances are going to be waived.
Let me step in for a second. We're going to replace the old scales that are there with new digital scales like everybody uses in their shop. So, obviously everything weight's big for all the classes. Modified sprint cars, sportsmen, everybody. So, you know what your weight is at the shop with your scales. So, we're gonna do that and do away with the old scales so we can get up to date on that, and we don't have any issues there. So go ahead.
All right. Pretty much the only thing I'm going to say is we're going to try to revert back to the old way. If we caught something in the gray area, we're going to give you a week to fix. All right? And if we catch you cheating in any engines, disqualification automatically. Pretty much that's about it. All the rules revert back to last year.
You want to go ahead, Nick?
Yeah, Dick Stark, I'm going to be kind of the liaison, I think, in the pit area and around the facility. I might even be replacing rolls of toilet paper in the men's and ladies' room. I mean, I'm not above that. One thing that I want to stress more than anything is that I'm somebody that if you have a problem and you need to have a chat with somebody, come talk to me. I don't respond real well by getting screamed at. I think that you can accomplish a whole lot more by talking in a normal tone of voice. And we're there to listen, obviously. But more than anything, we want to make the experience at Outlaw Speedway a good experience for everybody involved. I don't know as anybody has said it, but I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Tyler Siri for, I think, bringing some solid ownership to the Speedway and settling an unsettled situation. And I think more than anything, if you talk to Tyler, you'll hear the passion that this man has for making Outlaw Speedway the place that people want to be on Friday nights. Let's take this opportunity to say thank you to him and give him a round of applause. Again, I'll be very visible, very easy to get to. If by chance you're not able to get together with me on race night, if we by some chance meet, my phone is always an open line, and you're more than welcome to call me any time, as long as I'm not in bed sleeping. Let's have a great season.
And Tommy?
Basically, I'm gonna do the same as we did before. We're gonna have a little bit of lineup changes in the pits, but he'll talk on that when he starts. And I thank Tyler for buying this place, because I wanted to see, as I was back there in the Lynn Huff days, and I'd like to see it back that way. The racetrack is good as it used to be, facility-wise. And I appreciate everybody coming, and thanks for listening and doing it. Last year was good for lineups and stuff, but when we call you, because we're gonna try to get done early, like they said, when I call you, you gotta go. You can't sit in your pits and wait till 2 laps to go. We're gonna make it a rule. When we call you, you get on the line. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to touch on what Tommy said there about the the biggest complaint out there, everybody says, is, oh, shit, it takes too long, you don't get home till 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I know we travel all to the dirt shows and different shows, and it is frustrating, you don't get home till midnight, 1 o'clock, and then you try to get up the next day to go race, and it's tough. My biggest thing here is be as efficient as we can be. The track's going to be ready. Track prep will be consistent and ready every week. When you guys show up for hot laps at 6 o'clock, it's ready to go. It's not 6:30, 7:30, 200 pounds of mud on your car when you're done. You know what I mean? Nobody likes that, so that's not going to happen here. But the other thing too is we're going to get like a air horn system. So I know it's hard to hear sometimes in the back or wherever you are. So I'm going to have some kind of horn system. A lot of special shows do it, late models, I know they're doing it. So basically when Tommy calls you up for your heat or your feature, we'll blow the horn. You got 5 minutes to line up. If you're not lined up and ready to go, we can't wait for you. You know what I mean? It's just we got to be efficient. We got to run the show along. The fans, they want to see a show. They don't want to sit in the grandstands all night. So you need to have your stuff together, be ready to go, and it's going to be better for everybody at the end of that. So also the hot pit. What we're doing with that is where we line up for the heat races and the features in the past. That's going to be lined up for all heat races. And then for the feature, it's going to be you line up on the lower road, and then we're going to use the old lineup area for flat tires. If you got a flat tire, you can pull in, change right there instead of driving through the pits. And we're trying to help on the safety side of that. People running through the pits too fast, last year guys got a little extra time to change their tires, and it wasn't fair for the other competitors. So it's going to be. You get in, you get a couple laps, and then right back out on the track. The fans can see you change your tire. The people in the pits, Tommy at the pit shack can see what's going on. If you can't make it back on the track, if you have another problem besides a flat tire and you have to go to your pits, then we'll know that you're done for the night. But if you pull in the hot lane, then we know you got a tire or some kind of issue you think you can fix right away. And we're going to give everybody the courtesy to get your stuff fixed and get on the track. It's tough. You spend a lot of money, time to get to the races, and man, that sucks if you get a flat tire or something stupid happens to you, and it ruins your whole week. And we want you guys to give you the best benefit of the doubt we can, and get in there, get your tire, and get right back out. And that'll speed the show up. It'll help the safety in the pit. So that's something new we're going to do this year. So I think it's going to be pretty good. Steve, you want to talk about the flagging?
Basically, we're going to do everything the same as it was before. As far as I can see, the only difference is going to be the start and turn 4. We're going to move it back a little bit into turn, out of turn between 3 and 4. We're going to move it back, see how it works out, because we had a lot of complaints about it. Too slow, too fast, everything else. And like I told Tyler, no matter where you put the cone, they're going to start 100 yards before that anyways. But It's basically gonna be the same, white before green, always. If it's a bad start, you will get a green when you come out of turn 4, but you have a yellow when you come out of turn 2 on the backstretch. I can't emphasize the one-way radios enough, that, the way I've always done it, and if we're trying to put a guy back and he won't go, we'll come down on the track and we'll move you back. If we're trying to put a guy up and he won't go, we're gonna leave you there. So it behooves you to have a one-way radio, a working one-way radio. There's no excuse for not having one. There'll be a guy there selling radios and have extra ones to rent, earbuds, everything. To me, that's one of the most important safety features on a racetrack. And a receiver isn't worth a crap unless everybody's got one. Rough riding, we're just gonna plain put the 5-star to the rear every night.
There you go.
No, like I say, everybody here has known me for quite a few years and how I work, and I try to be fair. Hopefully this year I'm gonna be fair, and I'm gonna do everything that Jerry Ellis tells me to do anyway, so. But, I do wanna say that, I'm honored to be asked to do this job. I've been at this track since 1977, doing this. Every time there's been a new promoter, I've been in on that deal, and I was humbled by all the people that recommended me for this job, and I just hope I can live up to your expectations. And basically, that's all I got to say.
You know, I want to touch on that, the fairness part there. Obviously, I'll be racing there. My son will be racing. You know, we all make mistakes on the track. You know, nobody's perfect, but I'm no different than anybody else. If I get into somebody and spin them out, I'm going to the back, just like you are. There's not going to be any favoritism whatsoever at this racetrack. That's the biggest complaint. It's very frustrating. I know as a racer, man, it just drives you nuts. You know what I mean? And it's not going to happen here. I can tell you that. You know, Steve's got full control of what's going on the racetrack with Frank, and they make the calls. Obviously, I'm not behind the radio making the calls, so. But these guys have been doing this for 40 years. You know, they're not perfect. I'm sure they'll make a mistake throughout the season. You know, we're all human, but you know, Steve's he's not going to tolerate anything. You know what I mean? We got way too much money in these race cars, way too much time. It doesn't matter what class it is. This stuff is expensive, and it's we're not going to destroy cars or spin people out. And you know, you're going to the rear, and then after that, you're going to be parked. You know, they're just not going to tolerate it. And I just want to make sure everybody understands that it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a fair place to race. And so. What's that, Frank?
I wanted to touch a little bit on that position deal.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to follow up on Steve with that one-way radio. If you're out there on the racetrack and your one-way's not working, obviously you're out of line, you don't know where you go, watch the flagger. He'll try to put you where you're going to go. If you're going to ride around out there for 5 or 10 laps, not getting in line, we're just going to quit scoring you and go green. We want to move this program along. We want to be out of there early, and so I just feel that riding around for 10 minutes under a yellow because you don't want to get in your position isn't fair to the rest of the competitors and the fans that want to get home and do their thing. So that's how we're going to look at.
As far as the rules go, no rule changes whatsoever from last year. All rules will remain the same. The modified division is going to go on the Brett Dale rules. We're going to start out trying that. If we see an advantage or a big advantage on that, we might put a weight situation on the motors. But, you know, the beauty of Outlaw is every motor combination is very good at the racetrack. You know, it's not too big, it's not too small. You know, a good small block, a good big block, any combination wins races. If you look at last year, there was, you know, probably half the field won in a big block and the other half won in a small block. So I think that's the beauty of the racetrack, that, you know, it's cool that you can, you know, if you got to freshen your motor at a 370, now you're 375, well, you know, no, you don't have to buy a new motor. You just come over with us and race, and you know, it's a great situation. I feel it lets everybody be involved and come race. Tires will be American Racers, whatever combination you wanted there. Sail panels. If you don't have sail panels, that's fine. You can come race. If you want to put Hoosiers on your car, if you're racing at Canandaigua and you don't have racers, you can put Hoosiers on. You know, pretty much whatever you got, we're going to let you race. As far as the crate late models go, obviously it's a new class this year. We're going to go off the rush rules. We're looking at getting a series race for you guys over there this year. IMCA, I talked with them yesterday again, and we're all set to go. Probably going to have 2 series races for you guys for that class. The street stocks, sportsmen's, 4 cylinders, you know, that's all the rules will be the same. If we, you know, we can touch base on the front wheel drive and rear wheel drive. Obviously, we'll start with, you know, they'll be all running together. If we get a lot of cars and, you know, you guys want to say, hey, let's run the front wheels together, or, you know, by themselves and the rears by themselves, well, I'll look at that as well. You know, the biggest thing here is I'm a racer. I've been a business owner for 21 years, so I know both sides of business and racing. And, you know, the biggest thing is I want you guys to know I'm here for you guys. Whatever changes you want to make that's better for you guys or for the track, I'm all for it. You know, obviously I spent a lot of money to buy this place, and I'm 40 years old, so I'm going to be here for a long time. We got a place to race forever. My son's be 21 this month, and he'll probably take it over after I'm done. So the beauty of this place is we're going to be here forever, and you know, we need all your support to be successful. I'll do my part to make sure you got a great racing facility, and you know, getting onto the track. I am going to put clay on the track this year. We need to let the spring season, you know, get away from us a little bit. Hopefully it's dry and get some warm weather. Maybe within a month or so, sometime in May. I'm looking to put some clay on the track. You know, I know that's everybody likes to hear that, so you know, we'll definitely do that. I have 2 sources for clay that we can do for that. A lot of improvements this year that I'm going to do. You know, that place is big. It needs some work. You know, it needs some TLC, and it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, but you know, we've been starting doing stuff already over there. It's just going to be you guys are going to be impressed of you know, what's going to happen over there. Like I say, it takes time, but you know, I'm going to get right on it ASAP, and it's going to be you guys are going to love to call this your Friday night home, and you know, it's going to be exciting. So as far as the schedule and the payout goes, there is going to be a few changes on the schedule with a couple different, you know, all the dates will stay the same, but there will be a couple classes here and there, not weekly classes, that we got to change. There's a couple conflicts of interest out there with a couple of the racing groups. As a new promoter and owner, it took a while to put this schedule together, and you have a few conflicts because nobody else has their schedule out either. You know, you try not to step on, you know, the Saturday night guys, or, you know, but there's been a few phone calls with a couple concerns, so it doesn't affect any of you guys that race here weekly. So we'll have to adjust that on the schedule. The payout for all the classes is attached to it. You know, I hope everybody's real happy with the payouts. I mean, as a racer, I know this is a very expensive game. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money, and you know, but you can't give the farm away either. You know, the track has to survive, and pay the bills, as everybody knows. So I came up with this purse that would be, you know, in mind of you guys and myself as the owner. You know, the nice thing about me is my business takes care of my racing, my personal life, all that stuff. This racetrack is going to be self-sufficient on its own. You know, if I need to put money in the racetrack, that's not a problem. But I don't need to take any money out of the racetrack to survive on it or to go racing myself. So, you know, that gets back to the improvement part that, you know, everything that this racetrack's going to generate is going right back into the track. So someday, you know, in a few years down the road, I'd like to get like Wheat Sports facility. You know, those guys have done an awesome job of, you know, fixing that up, and you know, that's where I want this place to be. You know, next year we're looking at getting a World Outlaw Sprint Car race in there. We're gonna have to put more grandstands in and do some other things over there to accommodate the crowd. But we got big plans for this, and you know, I hope everybody's excited about what we're planning on doing. And you know, we're here for you guys, and you know, we need you to be here for us as well. So this other form here that you have. This will help us to get to know what class you are, you know, your address, so forth. And then if you could fill out your W-9 form and turn it in, that's going to speed the process up for the first week that, you know, we don't have a huge line of everybody trying to get in. 2,400 for the modifieds. That's what all Dale is. So if some guy comes in with an open small block that's really dominating and it's, you know, it's an unfair advantage. I don't see it happening. Just the fact that, you know, I've got big block and small block, and I think they're both very competitive. I don't think there's, you know, maybe some nights if the track's heavy, you know, heat races, the big block's probably better, you know, in my opinion. But a good small block is just as competitive.
Are they both weighing, everything's weighing 2,400?
No, big blocks are 2,500. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. You can't get a big block.
What's the cubic inch break on it? Like last year, the 370?
What's that?
The cubic inch break between big block and small block?
Yeah. Well, on the Dale rules is any motor combination is 2,400. Okay. The only difference that we're going to do is you can't get a big block to get 2,400. Obviously, it's going to be if you can get one at 2,480, 85. You know what I mean? So that's not going to be an issue on the weight. So everybody that's running your small block combination is 2,400. If there's an open small block that's, you know, just really unfair, like a late model motor, maybe we'll have to make them a 2,500 pound weight. You know, I don't see that happening, but I just want to throw that out so everybody knows that if somebody's going to come with one of these motors, you're more than welcome to race. But if it gets to be way out of hand, then we need to put a weight onto it. So I don't see that happening. You know, so a couple nice things with that. You can come right off the track and you're right there. You know, we're going to give you 2 laps to change your tire.
2 laps.
I mean, I think you're in trouble if you can't change in 2 laps right there. But if you need 2.5, you know, we're going to keep it consistent at two laps, and we'll get you out of there. You know.
And I'll see it, and I'll be able to tell.
Yeah, Tommy will be watching.
He's got it. He's almost there. Whatever. Just I got to do everywhere else.
When are you gonna start counting on that?
As soon as they get to the end of the hot pit.
So when you get to your pit, then Tommy and Frankie here will, you know, 2 laps, and then we're getting ready to go. So. Yeah.
We gotta wait 2,400, isn't the grip 2,400?
Yeah.
Why can't we wait 2,400? So we don't have to add weight to run that.
Well, how many sportsman guys we got here today? What do you guys want? You want 2,400, 2,450? I mean,
I'm asking because that's what I weigh everywhere else. I think it's 2,400.
Consistent with the other tracks.
Yeah.
Because I don't add no weight.
Right, but if it's steel wheels, it's less.
what's Canada Day one?
Pretty sure it had to do with the wheels. If they were aluminum
Over here,
wheels.
2450 was the only place that did 2450.
Well, for the only guys out there doing 2,450 and everybody else is 2,400, I have no problem with changing weight to 2,400 if that's what you want to do. Obviously, that makes sense if every place you go is 2,400, and then you got to come here and put 50 pounds on, and
I had to ask before
you know.
I asked you because I was thought it was 2,400 everywhere else.
So Tommy says Canada Day was 2,400. You're saying Woodhall's 24?
The grit's 24.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's that?
With the 10% is 2400.
Well, watch your 2% because we got some real scales this year.
Well, and that's
So I'm just
good.
saying, no, that comes out 24. Everywhere I went, it's 24.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Listen,
$23.99.
Gino, everybody knows Gino that was on the scales last year. He's going to have a brand new set of scales this year. So, you know what your car weighed when you brought it here, okay? And you know you're going to have a little mud out there on your track, on your car. So there's no reason that you know you're going to pick up 10, 20, 30 pounds of mud anyway. So if you can't make weight, you know that's not our fault. Don't yell at Gene. You know.
That means 0 tolerance.
That means 0 tolerance, absolutely.
Practice day,
You know.
follow the scales, make sure they're right.
That's why I'm buying new scales. You know, we need to get up to date on that.
And I'm sure that whoever's on the scales, if you're that close, if you wanted to weigh before the races started or after, you know, hot laps or whatever, I'm sure that we could accommodate you in that way and let you know about where you're at on our scales, so that you give yourself a buffer. 0 tolerance, guys.
Are you gonna have a rule that if you go on your light, you can back off, zero out, and back on?
Yeah, I'll do that. You
I
know,
think that's, yeah.
hey, we're here to work with you. We're not here to kick you out of the track, but you just got to realize you got to be fair. You got to be honest, and you know, if you're light, you're light. If you get caught cheating at the tech barn, you know, hey, you got to have rules and you got to enforce them. If you don't, the place is going to be a madhouse. Everybody's going to be mad. Nobody wants to come back and race. So, you know, make sure your stuff is right, and if you know you're wrong.
Lick your wounds and come back.
That's right.
You know,
don't badmouth the track.
goes
Don't
with the
badmouth
territory.
Okay.
the officials.
Back on the tech, what I'm gonna do this year is I'm only gonna hold the top 4 cars. Tech 3, 1 fails, 4th one comes in. That's it.
And the other thing on the tech too is you know, we're going to be able to pull any car we want. If you finish 10th tonight and we want to tech you, then you're getting tech. You know, it's not just because you won doesn't mean you know. Well, I didn't win tonight, so I can load up and go. You know, if we see you know, a concern out there with cars, you know, at any time we can pull a car and tech you. So, like I say, get your stuff right, and there'll be no problems. You know, be on the money on the weight, and we'll have no problems. Listen, here's a couple things I'm doing with Dick here. You know, Dick's owned the racetrack. He's got the Grit Series. Frank's his experience. Everybody at this table has ungodly amount of experience and knowledge, and they don't need me to tell them how to do their job. You know, so if people are wondering, well, how's he going to race and own and promote the track? Is because right here, these guys right here are running the show. You know, and I can't do it without them. So, you know, these guys are going to take care of problems. You know, if you got questions or concerns, we want to hear them. We want to know what you're doing. You know, on the sheet right here, we put comments at the bottom. Put your comments on there. Tell us what your issues, concerns are. Obviously, we're fresh. And this is a new start, and nobody's made anybody mad yet. So, you know, put your suggestions on there and turn it into the box. You know, when you leave, and you know, we got open ears. We want this to be the best place. We want you guys to say, man, we love racing here, and we're going to be here for a long time. And these guys will work with you. There's, you know, we're not going to be mad at anybody, but you know, just give these guys respect and courtesy. And you know, like Dick said, nobody likes screaming and hollering, yelling, and you know, I get a little upset sometimes. You know, and everybody's in the heat of the battle. We understand that, but you know, maybe take a little break before you come. Ask your questions to these guys, and they'll help you out. And I'm obviously there in the pits, and I'll be wandering around talking to you guys as well, and you know, being there for you guys too. So you know, I think we got you covered. And
What's the age limit for the pits? Getting in the pits?
actually, that's a great question. I honestly don't know.
When I owned the track, we really didn't have an age limit. You know, they had to sign a waiver. You know,
As long as you sign a waiver to get in, then you'll be good.
but for insurance reasons, they have to
Age
pay.
limit for the grandstands, get the kids in the grandstands.
Oh, it's free.
Age for getting the kids in the grandstands.
Free. They wanna know what-
Oh, 12 and under.
And under.
12 and unders. free.
12 and under is free. Yeah, yeah. And speaking of grandstand thing, you know, I'm the biggest guy that hates to sit in line for a burger or something, man. It drives me nuts. You know, I understand it takes time and, you know, you want your food fresh and stuff. And, you know, I'm going to hire extra people. We're going to open up a couple extra lines. They're there already. So, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, you guys can get your food and get going. We're going to hook the TVs back up on the front stretch and the back stretch as well, so you guys can, you know, watch TV while you're waiting. You know, we're going to be doing some remodeling in the kitchens and, you know, getting that stuff up to snuff. You know, the place is an awesome facility. It just needs TLC. It needs to be updated, and, you know, that's what we're going to be doing. So,
If anybody, any of these racers, fans, anybody, they have a potential sponsor that wants to get involved in some way, shape, or form, that goes through you, is that correct?
yeah, we got
Tell
some.
them a little bit about your plans with the billboards and
Oh,
stuff.
okay. For the concrete, or the concrete pads and the booths above the grandstands and the pits, if you want to sign your name over there and get yourself a booth, you can do it at the table. Sponsorships, I got people starting Monday that are going to be banging the streets, getting sponsors for the track, and you know, that's a big thing too. People wonder, well, man, he's got great purses, but you know, we're going to be super aggressive on hitting the streets, getting sponsorships. We've got a lot of people that are super excited that have committed already. Along the 14A there, we're going to put billboards up. They're 8 foot tall by 12 foot wide, and they're going to run all the way down to the pit. So there's going to be about 30 of those that we'll put up as we sell them. But you know, there's going to be a lot of emphasis put on sponsors. Obviously, you need them to be successful, and you know, so we've got people starting Monday doing that as well. So if any of you guys want to be part of sponsors or anything like that, put your name on a sheet over there, and I'll definitely get a hold of you first thing on Monday, or my sales team will get a hold of you. And
You're still gonna do infield?
yeah, with the infield there, I'm going to hydroseed the whole infield. So the other thing with the hot passes pits is going to be is the tow trucks, the safety trucks, the pace car and stuff will all be in the hot pit section. So there will be no nothing in the infield, so it won't disrupt the view of the fans and the stands. And you know, everybody likes to see green grass, and so it's going to be nice. You know, we're going to do a lot of painting. We're going to take down some buildings, and we're going to expand over on the pit entrance to get into the pit road there to the pits. We're going to tear down that lean-to out there with the equipment sits in there, and that's going to be all camping and overflow parking for the pits.
That was a question I had for you, camping.
So that'll be nice. It's free camping. Anytime you guys want to camp, it's free. We're going to fix the fence in the back, because I know people like to get in for free back there, is what I've been told. So
Wow, that's a shocker.
we're going to put the fence back there so we can, you know, try to solve that issue. Obviously, you know, just be fair with us. You know, we're trying to be fair with you guys, and you know, $30 is not worth getting in trouble for. What's that, Frank? Oh yeah. The other thing I'm doing is whoever won a championship last year in the divisions, we're going to hang a flag above the pit VIP booths. So that's kind of a nice thing for you guys that won a championship. You'll get your flag put up over there, and then we're going to pull a hat and we're going to put everybody else's, you know, a bunch more flags up on the front where the VIPs are on the front stretch. We're going to put some flags up there. I mean, it's going to be cool. We're going to do a lot of neat things to dress the place up and make it look like a racetrack again, and you know, so that'll be kind of exciting. Also on the pit concrete pads, Frank mentioned that. I think it's a great idea. The guys that won the championship last year as well will get you a pad of your choice in the pits for a nice gesture for you as well. So, oh yeah, my girlfriend Tara, she's back there. She's been a huge supporter of mine. You know, my business, it takes a lot of my time. Racing takes a lot of time, and it's definitely hard. And, you know, this racetrack's going to take a lot of time, but, you know, I'm a die-hard worker. I work 7 days a week. I love it. I love to race, and with the guys that we have here on the staff, you know, we're going to have 200% effort on this racetrack for you guys, and You know, so it's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah. Anybody else got any questions?
I have another question about the hot pit concern too. I mean, I'm not quite sure how this is gonna work. You got like 20 guys on the track, we're all gonna be standing in that pit road with 4 tires and jacks and stuff. How are we gonna get in there and get out in order to do the tire change?
Well, you got there's the fence line right behind so everybody's going to stay behind there. When your car has a flat tire, you can come around the fence and wait for your car, change your tire, and then when the
We'll have to have tires and jacks stacked up along
Yeah.
the fence.
yep.
And you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make you do that. So why go to your pits, we're just not gonna give you that.
You have to give me like 10 minutes.
So what we're gonna do is, actually, the pit crew cannot go around that wall until your car stops. When your car stops, you go ahead and pit, and, we'll do that. Now, everybody, we're talking about this 2-lap deal here, whatever. You know, sometimes it takes, by the time you get the field reformed and group back up to go green, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4 laps. So, you know, we're gonna stick with the 2-lap deal, but sometimes it could turn into 4, or, you know, if there's wrecked cars out on the track, obviously it turns into maybe however many laps until they get the track cleaned up, so.
What about putting a gate, some sort of metal gate down that fence line, so that you don't have everybody at one end, you know, to have to go around, you know, that way you can put your stuff all the way up the wall.
So, there we go, there's where, you know, you can fill in that comment sheet, you know, and it'll give us some time to work out some kind of better program. You know, we're just, that's how we're going, and Nick's gonna be crucial on this hot pit deal. You guys, when you go to pull back on the track, especially for green, you have to obey Nick. Whatever, he's gonna tell you when you can go and when you can't.
Yeah, you might be sitting there waiting a bit because the cars are flying down through there and they're going fast. And I'm going to tell you to get up high on the track, because if you shoot down on the track, you're going to be a mess. You're going to get T-boned. I hate that area. You know, it is what it is. But if I'm holding you up, yeah, it means either the leaders are coming. I'm not going to send you in front of the pack, you know, the front cars. Or, you know, there's a group coming, so you might be sitting there. But
This hot deal, I mean, this thing is going to be, you're going to really like it. And I'm going to tell you why, because it's going to keep you in the race. It's going to keep you on the lead lap, and it's going to keep you in the race. If you're going to go,
keep people safe.
and it's going to keep people safe in the pits, and you know, obviously with the response that we've had and the commitments that we've had, the pits are going to be full. You know, so. If we don't do something like this, you guys you're gonna go a lap down and you're done. You know, it ruins your whole night because you got into a guy and he hit your tire, and you know, if you could change your tire, you'd be out on the track. It's gonna help you in the points. It's just it's gonna be 100% better. You know, I mean, some people might disagree, but if you're actually racing the car, I'd rather go in there and change my tire and get back out there than have to drive in the pits, and some cars broke down in front of you and you can't get by them, and then you're trying to swerve around them and somebody's standing there, you can't see them, it's dark.
Walking kids.
You got kids in there, next thing you know you got a big problem, and you're not going to come out and get on the lead lap anyway, because we're not going to dilly-dally. You know, in the past over there, it's shit you right around and right around, right around, and what are we waiting for? Let's go green, you know. That's not going to happen, you know. So having this hot pass thing is going to benefit the racers tremendous. You guys are going to really love it.
That fella there's.
What about the lighting there? Change tires, whatever you gotta do. Sometimes, I know it's sometimes hard to see right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we could take a look at that, see about getting some lights on the walls or something, or maybe on the fences right there, kind of shoot down on it.
there is one there, Tyler. Franny Hilton knocked it out.
Yeah, I remember that night.
Yeah, there is a nice light right there, but
We'll definitely try to light that up for sure. You know, I mean, I know it's hard when you pull in your pits, you can't see very well either, but you know.
We have to make during the year on the hot pit thing. We'll see something that will work
Yeah.
better. We'll change it.
Yeah, and it's going to be a work in progress. I mean,
Speeding in pits is absolutely not going to happen.
Yeah.
If you don't go to the hot pit, you're speeding in the pit. You ain't coming back out anyway.
yeah.
I think one of the things too, I know that some racers, I've seen it, all of you have seen it, come to a track with limited resources, limited pit crew, that kind of thing. This also creates an opportunity, if that is the situation for you, maybe you can make some kind of arrangements ahead of time while your car is out there for some help for you in that area, where you can do a tire change, you know? So I think all around, once we work the bugs out of it, it's gonna be a great situation for you guys, like Tyler said.
It'll be something new, so it'll be something for all of us to get used to.
Yeah.
So it has to be
Is
some
there a crew
adjustments.
limit in the cockpit area? How many people?
I don't think so, yeah.
I don't see where there's a big deal, but I mean,
You might,
you know,
no, 10 or something.
right, I mean, within reason, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, if you need 3, 4 guys to come, come help you out, we want you to get your tire changed and get you back out there. We want you back in the race. So
There you have it, there's a situation that we may have to adjust that,
the nice thing with the pit road deal there too is that thing's pretty big. You know what I mean? There's lots of room in there to work. It's going to be a really good deal. And getting back to his point, I know some people were talking, so he probably didn't hear. But if you need 4 or 5 guys to come over and help you out, if that's going to get you on the track better, then bring them in there. You know what I mean? We want to get you changed, get you out on the track. It's going to speed the show up. It's going to, it's going to benefit everybody. We don't want you to lose a lap. We don't want you to take yourself out of the race.
So now everybody's gonna be showing up with 4-wheelers, tire carts. Where are they gonna be parked? Where we're gonna put them? People gonna be jumping over the fence, running around the fence. Are they gonna, park 4-wheelers and pit carts on the inside of the fence?
Well, maybe what we could do is we could set up some deal for the features, because it's only features only, not for the heats. Maybe we'll just block that section off, or a portion of it, whatever. We'll make it work. So obviously you don't need a 4-wheeler in there to change your tires. You know what I mean?
You know that.
Yeah.
There's some adjustments that we can make.
Maybe what we could do is before you get there, you can park your 4-wheeler on the other side, and then just walk over and bring your tires and your. We'll work with it. We'll make it work.
Sprint groups do it.
Yeah, if we get a tire off, get a shock at the same time, then the guy's gotta run across the track, run back to the pit
people too.
with a tire that was up on the hot lane, so you put shock on your car, throw a tire on it, go back up.
Why is he running across the track?
Bring the parts.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah.
If you got to change a shock or something's wrong with your car, you're not going to do it in 2 laps anyway. If you got the stuff there and you can do it, that's more power to you. But that's why I bought that buggy thing I got. So when we go on special shows, I got the parts. But still, 2 laps, you're not going to change it anyway. You know what I mean? So.
Brad had a question.
Go ahead.
Brad, did you have a question?
I was, same thing that you said
okay.
about, you don't need 12 guys to change a breaker tire.
No. And you're not going to have 12 guys there anyway, because
Well, yeah.
Just
so you don't have people on your.
it's 2 guys changing a tire, and you know what I mean. You can't have 3 in there. You don't have room.
If there's 12 guys with every car that comes to Outlaw Speedway, I bet we can get tired of the racing person.
Oh, yeah. Steve, you had a question.
Yeah, one thing about the back pit entrance off the back stretch. If you're in the hot pit, and we're going green, they come out of 4, we go green, and you're just coming out of that pit at that time, and Nick sends you out, you will be scored on that lap. Even though you didn't get the half a lap, you will be scored.
Right.
Also, that back gate where Nick is, I hate seeing cars go in the pit there. And with the way they're doing it this year, it's gonna be even more dangerous. Because if you duck into that pit real quick like, you've got another feature lined up, you might have another car coming out, you're looking for trouble if you do that. So if all possible, go in the pit entrance and
I
turn
think we
one.
have to dictate that.
Yeah. Another thing I'll have is I'm going to have some help for Nick, because obviously we're lining up on the lower road, and you need to keep a lane through the center, and it's pretty wide down there, so there's plenty enough room to do that. So if you did pull in the pits, okay, Brad, you change your tire, but your shock's broke, you can't make it out again, so you can pull out of there and go down through the center of the pit entrance, and we'll you know, if I have to give Nick another guy to make sure that stays organized, we'll definitely do that. Yeah. Frank mentioned too, on this purse payout here that everybody has on the sheet, every class, 4 cylinders, mod, IMCA mod, street stocks, crate sportsmen, crate late models. Everybody's racing for $1,000 to win for the points. So 4-cylinder drivers, if you win the points, you get $1,000. IMCA, same thing. Street stocks, modifieds are racing for $5,000 for the points for the winner. Another thing we're looking at doing, it's not set in stone yet, but you know, for all the divisions, if you win your championship at Outlaw Speedway and you win your championship at Woodhall, Canandaigua, Fulton, wherever you're racing on Saturday night, if you're going to win that both championships, there's going to be a bonus to you that we're going to pay. So if the other tracks don't want to get involved and say, well, they can't afford it, they don't want to do it, whatever it is, it's going to be the Outlaw Challenge, is what it's going to be called, and it's pretty much set in stone. But you're going to get a bonus on top of your bonus that you get for the championship. So if you win at Woodhall and you win here at Outlaw, then you're going to get a bonus for any division. So that's another cool thing we're doing for you guys. Try to help you out and you know, whatever we can do to do it for you.
How are you doing lineup? You're gonna do a handicap?
Yeah, the first 3 shows are going to be
Draw, redraw.
the first 3 races will be draw, redraw when you get there, and then after that we'll start the handicap system. We'll line it. Tommy will do it right at the board where it always is. We're going to clean that area up too as well, where the grandstands are, or where the concessions is. We're going to make that nicer for everybody and change the fencing and stuff like that. And yep.
Table to do draw on, huh?
What's that?
Decent table to do draw on, that.
Yeah.
Food and stuff out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want any ketchup mustard in your draw.
No.
But
I've been on the receiving end of a lot of years of the receiver.
Yeah.
And I've not been on the announcing side of it, so I'm not sure how all that works, but there's a lot of downtime when you have a radio in your ear. And most of the racers here have them in their ear way more than just throughout the course of the race. So I'm wondering if that can be used to dovetail some more information into the racers, such as a second voice to make announcements so that it's, you know, your class is coming up, listen to the next 4, and all that sort of thing in order to speed the program. The tool is there. Take some choreographing. I wanted to bring this up earlier, but Tommy went to that.
yeah, that's a great point.
Take some work and some coordination.
Yeah, we could definitely look into doing that.
Here's the thing with the one-way radio. The only time I'll talk on that one-way radio is when under the yellow. So if you're in the lineup chute and you want me to talk to you, then every driver on the racetrack is going to hear what I'm telling you. So that is not going to work because we're all on the same frequency.
What if we could do a different frequency for Tommy?
Yeah, but the problem with
Where
them
they
is
could
they're on
have maybe-
454.000 in
Yeah.
their cars,
Right.
so he can't go on another frequency.
But what
and
about
talk.
if everybody had some kind of
I think he
scanner
was
type?
suggesting that even during cautions, you could give information, not during green.
Yeah,
When there's ball time, when there's a lot of it, when you're.
Tim, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah, there's a lot of downtime to the radio.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate the fact that we're only talked to as far as the racer is concerned. It's a caution. We don't need a lot of editorializing. It's a caution. Slow down. There's problem number 1. That's it.
Right.
We don't need to hear car numbers that you're an asshole and you're in causing trouble.
Okay.
Most people know that ahead of time, right?
I just need the facts, but if only the facts are given, then there's a lot of space, a lot of time, that other information could be given out in order to speed the program, and it could be pretty generic. It could be pretty standardized. Like at a point in time in the race, caution during the halftime, or
Okay.
in the middle of the heat race or whatever, things are getting rolling, you're getting the line back up. Before that all goes, if it's a long caution, by the way, guys, the next class out is, so you better be ready. That sort of thing.
Yeah, we could work on that. Absolutely.
The radio's there, a lot of guys, you know, I've got mine in way more than when I'm on the track. And I think everybody else does too.
Right.
So it's just another tool. I'm not saying
Right,
it's
so
the end all.
we could work on that. But one thing you have to realize is that while you're in the lineup shooting, the yellow comes out, you have Sheila giving me the lineup where all the drivers have to be.
Yeah.
But you're still right, there's probably enough time to incorporate that into the program.
Well, I was thinking maybe even two different voices. Your voice all the time for talking, line up, for going, grease coming. And Sheila's voice in a long time. By the way, everybody, next class coming up, you know, whatever.
That's a good point. We'll work on that.
Absolutely.
If there's, you know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what about the speakers in the pits themselves when they're calling us up? 'Cause a lot of times, like,
Oh, I know where I'm
I
at.
park down
Oh,
by
yeah.
the fuel thing, I can't hear
Yeah.
That's it.
hardly at all.
That's where that air horn is gonna come into
I
effect.
don't think you guys.
Yeah, the air pretty good to me, no good, but I don't know what you're calling up, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
What we'll do,
You will know the order, though. You'll know the order of
Yeah, I mean,
events.
we always got a track, I mean, we always got her up in
So,
time
I
and
mean,
stuff.
if,
It's
if,
just a matter of-
if the air horn is blown and the modifieds are out and street stocks are next, you're gonna know
Well, there are
that the
sometimes
lineup's
where they
got it.
swap your running
I
order around
understand,
on us,
yeah.
and it's like, wow, okay, she's got the other, now we're rushing.
One of the things I
You know
just
what, get her up
mentioned to
there.
Tyler was maybe we can have somebody that can go down through with either a bullhorn or the horn so that people that are out in a area
Yeah.
that,
I
you
think
know.
if the PA was just fixed
well,
up,
listen,
better
I'll take care of the PA system, definitely. I know it, where I park, it's tough to hear. That's why I came up with the idea with the horn, you know, Tommy blowing the horn, I can hear it down there. You know, you're busy working on your car, you know, whatever's going on, it's hard to hear, absolutely. So I'll work on the PA system so everybody can hear. How awful, you know, I can give Dick a four-wheeler and he can drive around and you know, hey, we're getting ready to roll. He
But you
can blow
gotta
the
be
horn.
vigilant to know that you're about ready to go out there,
Yeah,
so
yeah, don't rely on him to,
don't rely on me.
So you got a question back there, way in the back.
4 or 5 laps ago, you gotta get up, be up there.
what about the transponder? Yeah. 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 Yeah, modified sportsman's, crate late models. Like to have them, we'd like to have everybody have them. It's just gonna help you, so you're not dickering about what spot you were in. It's gonna help Sheila, you know, it's a huge benefit. I understand they're $200, $300, you know. When you guys can afford to have one, we'd like to have everybody next year have it. You know
That
what I
might
mean?
be the difference, though,
Which one you going with?
you know.
There's only one.
A and B.
There's two. The red or the yellow? Red or yellow?
Red.
Red?
Tyler, on your lineup, we had talked briefly, modifieds were third in line, so they're not last. Is that-
Modifieds are going to run third every week. A lot of the modified guys and everybody travels to get there, whether you're a half hour, 10 minutes, or 2 hours. You know, that's the big thing about hurry up, get the show going, run it efficient. You know, we're all there. We want to enjoy the night. We're not going to, you know, speed it up so fast that, you know, it's not fun, but it's going to be efficient, you know. So, you know, the mods will run third every week. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate all the classes, so everybody doesn't have to run last or doesn't have to run first or whatever. So a cool idea we're going to do is whoever wins whatever feature for the night, whether it's the 4-cylinders or modifieds or whatever, is going to pull. Huh?
Not the mods, because the mods will run a third.
What do you want the first guy to do it?
No, every guy's gonna do it except the modifieds. Every division with the modifieds.
Okay, okay. We can do it that way then. I was thinking of a different way, but, so every winner will pull out the hat, and that's gonna say where you're gonna start for next week. So if the 4-cylinders running last, they don't wanna sit there last every week, you know? Next week you might run first, you know, but, so yeah, that's how we're gonna do that.
I got a question.
Yeah.
That we haven't talked about, payoff. How are you gonna do payoff this year, and where is it gonna be?
Payoff will be at the concession stand. That'll be in cash. And when your race is over, all the payouts will be there anyway. So when you don't have to wait till the end of the night to get your pay.
Same window they used to.
The window right there on the way to, everybody knows where Tommy's door is, I'm sure, so,
Right next to it, right?
right next to Tommy's door, there's a window, so as soon as the first feature's over, I'll have somebody in there for your payout. So if you get your car loaded up and you wanna go home, you can go up there and your pay will be ready.
Announce it.
Tommy can make an announcement, but, any feature, whenever you're done, your pay will be ready to go.
That's the tech guns.
Last year, they accepted the direct drive transmissions in the street stocks. The guys that run the stock transmissions, if they run the penalized weight of the extra, 200 pounds, can we run triple disc clutches or cheater buttons so that the stock transmission has the same advantage as that direct drive, but we'll still have that extra weight?
I don't know. Honestly, the rules are going to be the same for two things. One is, obviously, it's February, 6th today. You know, we do have a couple, 2.5 months before it's time to go racing, but, you know, I didn't want to tip the apple cart over and everybody be mad. They got to make changes for rules. So whatever the rules were for last year, they're on our website. They're on the other website. That's what we're going to go with.
Mike Jackson actually texted us last year and said we could run the triple disc. So that was okay as of last year. Is that still going to be okay?
If that was a rule, then
I
we'll
don't think it
go.
was, I don't think it was ever in black and white.
Okay.
Was everybody aware of it?
I don't know how many people. We kept the text message that allowed it. So.
I'll get with Bubba on the you know.
I mean, and we can talk. It'll save us a lot of money as far as we won't have to spend $1,500 for a racing transmission. We can spend $60 for a cheater button, and it'll make that stock transmission perform the same as a direct drive.
Hey, I'm all for it if everybody else is, and if it's you know, no advantage, disadvantage, you know, on the racetrack.
It's more of a disadvantage to whoever's got the cheater button because
Okay.
there's no clutch. So if it won't turn over the car to go, then we're the ones getting.
Okay.
How many street
I'll
stock guys we
have
got?
I'll have Bubba address those, and we'll take care of that with him.
Tyler, how many street stock guys we got here right now?
How many street stocks guys do we have right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
We got 10 or 12. Do you want to just kind of
Take care of it now?
preliminary type?
All right.
Opinion.
What's your opinion on this, guys? Who's in favor of allowing that cheater button? There you go. That's majority. I mean, so that's food for thought.
Might as well go ahead and do it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll put that in the rules.
That's a done deal, right?
Cheater button, legal button.
It's a legal button, no longer a cheater button. What's your name?
Carl Cleveland.
Carl, right. It's a Carl button.
No.
Any other questions?
Are you gonna be a Rush weekly series track or just Rush rules?
Well, Rush rules right now. I've got to call into Rush to make it a weekly track and get a series race. So I'm just waiting for the phone call back from them to do that. I know that's what you guys prefer, right? Is the Rush?
We definitely would prefer, because it helps us.
Sure.
What was the Friday night track they just sanctioned?
Freedom.
Was it Freedom? Right? Is that? I know Raceway 5 got one too, right?
Yeah, they're Saturday.
Yeah.
So you are sanctioning the late models? You're gonna go with
Attempting.
so we can count those, we can show?
Yeah, we got the call in and
That'll be up to Vicky probably.
Yep. I got a call into her, and so same with the IMCA. That's
I think that's gonna help your park.
yeah. Whatever we can do. Obviously, we got to have the cars, we got to have the fans, we got to have everybody involved to make this thing work. You know, so
Is that American Racer Tire?
Hoosiers, right?
They're Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Got a question.
Pertaining to the IMCAs are going to be IMCA sanctioned.
Yes.
It's not going to be outlaw.
No.
Okay.
The only thing outlaw would be the modifieds, if you want to call them outlaw. You know.
Well,
Like
that kind of goes with like Dunhill. Dunhill being their first year back, they're not going to be IMCA sanctioned this year.
Yeah.
And that's the big draw is the IMCA
Yeah.
sanctioning. So
Yeah. No, we're definitely we're definitely there with that, and you're going to get 2 series races that's going to be added to the schedule. Obviously, I addressed that earlier. There's some changes got to be made to the schedule. What that entails, there's a couple sprint car issues on some dates right now. I won't get into the different organizations. Are kind of button heads because everybody wants, to be part of the action, and they like certain dates. Other ones like certain dates. So, but talking to the IMCA guy, he definitely said we'll have 2 sanctioned races, and he's super excited. That's the other thing. Everybody, from ESS sprinters to everybody, is so ecstatic of what we're doing and putting together for this Outlaw Speedway, and everybody wants to be part of it. Everybody's calling for extra dates. You know what I mean? And so everybody, that's a huge positive plus for you guys, us, everybody. Everybody loves the racetrack, and they want to see it succeed. And they know when I do stuff, I do it the right way, and or try to anyway. But it's everybody wants to be a part of it, so it's exciting, and we hope you guys are too. Trying to get these the purses out there for you guys so you can come race, and yep. Huh?
Anybody fight night street stock race?
What about it?
That's through Grit?
That's through me, yeah.
Maybe
You want to touch on that a minute, Dick, on the street stock?
Yeah, I can do that. Basically, and we announced it when we announced the Fight Night All-Star Street Stock Series. Tyler's been kind enough to give us, I think, 2 or 3 events this year. One thing that we are going to do, and keep your eyes open, we do a lot of social media through Facebook and that kind of thing, but we'll also make an announcement on Race New York. We are going to have an informational meeting on the Fight Night Street Stock All-Star Series, and that will be coming up very soon. So basically what we're trying to do, and if anybody is familiar with street stock racing, it's very difficult to blend a rule book that's going to accommodate everybody and not at the same time piss somebody off. So that's why we are going to have an informational meeting. It'll be a kind of a similar to this, a question and answer thing as well, but we are going to be vigilant in trying to put together a rule book that will kind of blanket the street stock racers. Many of you know that street stocks at this, in the last couple of years, not so much here at Outlaw Speedway, they had a solid car count, what have you, but in the southern tier, the numbers have suffered greatly. So one of the things that I think you'll see is a resurgence in the street stock racing once tracks are somewhat on an equal playing field and kind of a universal rule book. Yes, sir.
One of the issues we're having with the street stocks is coming up with the frames. Now, if you can come up with a front clip, or regardless of whether it's leaf or coil, are we going to be able to turn them into a tube chassis?
That's one of the things that we're addressing. I know that one of the things that we did that was out there, this Johnson chassis has been a big disputable issue. Shane Wolf has one of those cars. I did get a call from a pretty knowledgeable individual that does a lot of work on street stock chassis that did have that chassis in their shop and did do all the measurements, and they were all stock measurements. That's one of the things that I think you're going to see eventually. I know that some people have the ability to get a hold of metric frames and that kind of thing, and then there's others that can't find them around, and they got to do a huge amount of repair on them anyway to make it so they can use them. So I think eventually you're going to see that evolve at some point in time where it's hard to get those frames. Those are some of the things that we want to address at the Fight Night All-Star Series get together, is some of those things, and discuss that. It'll be an open forum where we can have a civil conversation about that, and we will come up with a rule book that will entail all that needs to be done. I don't want to take away from this meeting right now.
Oh, that's all right, Dick. Go ahead.
But that's kind of where we're at. So it'll happen very, very soon, and we'll have an announcement out there where we can have a get-together. Okay?
Another thing for the sportsman drivers out there, you guys have seen a difference in your pay as well. So basically, we've tried to help you guys there as well. Dick can touch on the Grit Series. You know, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 Grit Series sportsman races for you guys this year at the track. If you look at the schedule, there's going to be a lot of specials for everybody, all the divisions. You know, not just the modified, not just whatever division. Everybody's equal here. Everybody's going to get special shows, and you know, it's going to be it's fun for everybody. You want to talk on the Grit a little bit on the sportsman?
One of the things that we're trying to attempt to do in the Grit Series this year, we have our banquet tomorrow, our awards banquet, and we'll be giving away a lot of money, and I'm very proud of that fact that we've been able to step up and do that for the Crate Sportsman racers. They're a loyal bunch of racers, and we appreciate the fact that they support us the way they do. One of the things that I think makes us, I guess, respected in the Crate Sportsman world is that we do listen to racers. And one of the things that has been an issue in the past, I think, has been the amount of travel that teams have had to do. One of the things that you'll see in our schedule this year is that we have tried to tailor that down to a less travel for race teams, less races. There will be less facilities involved in the Grit Series, but at the same time, you'll have a lot of opportunity as a Crate Sportsman racer or car owner to join in and do those Grit events. We've got some great races at currently right now we're at going to be at Outlaw Speedway. I just recently spoke with the new owner at Skyline Raceway. We'll have an event there. Thunder Mountain Speedway, I-88 Speedway looks like will be the 4 tracks that will be involved in the American Racer Series. And at the same time, we're going to have another Hoosier Series. I'm working on a schedule right now. We're at Rolling Wheels. We're probably going to be at Central New York Raceway Park. We're also waiting on a date at Paradise Speedway to get confirmation on that. Again, Fonda Speedway is another one, in Utica, Rome. So there's 5 tracks that are involved. If anybody's familiar with the Grit Racing Series, this past year we had 28 races at 15 different facilities. That's a lot of travel for teams. So that's one thing that we have absolutely taken into consideration. Another thing that we would like to do, and I'm going to have a conversation afterwards with our tech inspector at the Outlaw Speedway. We do want to have our own tech inspector that'll come in and work with the track tech inspectors on doing a good job of teching the Crate Sportsman racing that's taking place in the Grit Series. That's kind of where we're at. I'm still gathering some more sponsors. Again, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Crate Sportsman racers to be on center stage, right out in the forefront and racing for some good money. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for recognizing the street stock class. I'm glad somebody did.
Well, you know, thank you. It's my privilege. If anybody doesn't know me, I was a street stock competitor for many years. I have a real passion for full fender racing. I have a passion, quite honestly, for any kind of racing. If we could have some tricycle races, I might even entertain doing a tour with them. No, but honestly, I want to see the street stock class back to respectability where it used to be, and that's why we stepped up with ROC doing their change and dropping the street stock racers. You know, we thought that it'd be an ideal opportunity to put together a nice series, and right now I think we're at about 10 or 11 events, and that's probably where we're going to stay. And again, it's going to be shrunk down and very manageable for race teams.
Honestly, I know our specials are show-up points. You know, we'd love to have you support the show as well. So they are, you know, show-up points for shows, yeah.
If I might add, we've averaged about 33 cars on our Grit shows. That's across the board, and quite honestly, there's a lot of opportunity. And to me, a hometown racer has a little bit of an advantage, yeah, because it's at their home court, so to speak. So we don't want people thinking that they can come in there and get their doors blown up, because that's not always the case. We had several different winners on the Grit Series. Many of you know that Rocky Warner if there was a dominant car, Rocky Warner probably was, but honestly, he is scrutinized probably more than anybody in crate sportsman racing. And he's a legitimate talent. I mean, you're talking about somebody that won an overall amount of 25 or 26 feature events. So we want to encourage local guys to be involved, not only to bring a blend of those racers into our series, but also at the same time to support the promoters and the race facilities that have stepped out of the box and outside the box a little bit to give you an opportunity to have a special event to display your talents. So that's our thinking.
Yeah, we're going to have a pace car this year. We're going to have a safety truck this year. Everything is getting updated. It's going to be pretty neat. You definitely got to have the safety is number one for sure. And, tow trucks, we've already got another tow truck already. And, you can't be stuck out there and broke down on the track with a car on the hook. And if somebody gets hurt, the safety vehicle's got to get there. We understand that. And I've got vehicles in place for that. It's going to be a pretty cool wrap with the Outlaw stuff. And that's the other thing, too. Whether it's the safety or any people that want to work at the track, in the back there's a sheet to sign and put your name and number and what kind of position you're looking for. Obviously, we have these positions filled, but there's a lot of other things that need to be done over there. And if you guys are interested, put your name on there, and we'll definitely go through them and call people and safety as well. So,
You gonna get a flatbed, Tyler? Help clear up some of the stuff quicker?
well, hopefully, we don't need that, huh?
It helps a lot, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. The tracks I've been to through the years, a flatbed is a lot better than trying to double hook cars and everything like that.
Yeah.
If you have
Speeds
the,
things up.
Get a nice roll off or something, roll back. Yeah.
if you have the proper equipment to cradle them, master will cradle them. If you have the right, he had to do this.
Yeah, Canandaigua got a tow truck.
His
It's got
equipment,
long booms, real heavy in the front, long
his
boom.
master
It'll
will
just
roll back.
underneath the cage and just carries it out.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
One thing that I was gonna bring up, and they used to do it years ago, and it's probably gonna be, you used to have a time limit for your features.
Yeah.
20 laps, 25 minutes. Not singling out the IMPAs,
Yeah.
but there were a couple times last year that 45 minutes, 50 minutes for a feature, and fans don't want to sit there and watch it.
Yeah, this guy just made a great point. Talk about time limit on the racing for the features. Obviously, you spend a lot of time, money to get to the races, and you want to finish your show. But I know sometimes things get out of hand, and, I got to look into that because we definitely need to put some kind of time limit out there. And I'm not picking on any class out there. It could be whatever class. I mean, we've had disasters and modifieds last year from all of the divisions. So, that'll definitely be addressed in the drivers' meetings at the races. If you guys are having hard times, putting the show on and having a lot of issues, then we're going to definitely put a time frame on your feature. What that time is, I don't know yet. We'll all get together and figure out what a fair time is. But, if everybody respects everybody out there and races clean, you're going to blow the shows right through anyway. So I don't see that being an issue. I know people don't want to go home, work on their cars, and spend money that they don't have. And so that's getting back to the whole thing of, clean racing. We want clean racing out there. It's just, again, it's too expensive. It's too much time to work on stuff. And if you can't pass the guy clean, you're just going to have to wait till the next lap. Or maybe you're a second place car or a 10th place car that night. That's just the way it's going to be. It's not going to be muscle, your way around. And, Steve will be watching that on the flag stand. And Frank, as the race director, it's going to be enforced. So,
Yeah, I mean, if you're running for 10th, there's no sense in taking the guy out at night. I mean,
no.
You had a question back there, Tyler.
Last year, a big crowd, people driving through the infield continuously.
Don't drive on my infield now. I'm putting all this money in there.
Hopefully that's taken care of, because the same people kept doing it, causing problems.
Yeah.
So, everybody's watching and take care of it.
Listen, everybody here, everybody knows what happened in the past. Everybody knows what happens at Canandaigua, Woodhall, every place. This is going to be a fresh start. Everybody's starting fresh. There's no problems, no issues with anybody. When the problems come about, we're going to handle them. It's not going to be cutting the guy off in the infield and hitting the uke tire. And, if the guy's underneath you, I've only been racing for a short period of time. A lot of people have been racing a hell of a lot longer than I have. And I tell you, if I can hold my line and do what I got to do most of the time, you veterans can definitely do it. So, don't chop people. Don't try to spin them out. Rubbin's racing, we understand that. We like to do that. But if you deliberately take somebody out, you're done. And if you're going to be a problem, if you can't hold your line, we're going to put you to the back in the heat races. Until you can get control of your car. It's not fair for the other competitors out there to have to get tied up in bad situations and take them out of the points. And the pay is really good in all the classes. The points pay is good. Everybody's going to be on top of the wheel and want to do the best they can. But we're going to enforce the rules and respect your driver. That's all. So.
Are we handicapping or drawing?
The first 3 weeks are going to be a draw, and then after that it'll be handicap. Yeah, we're going to be monitoring every class. We're not going to catch everybody every week, but we're going to be on top of it, and that's why I mentioned, anytime we want, we're going to be able to tech your vehicle. Don't get mad if I didn't finish in the top 5. Why am I getting to the tech barn? It's we're going to keep the level playing field as tight as we can in all divisions. If I got to hire more tech people, if Bubba can't keep up with all the divisions, which we have an extra guy anyway, if I got to have 3 guys out there, we're going to do that. I mean, it's very discouraging to race when the other guys is cheating and you don't even want to show up. So we're going to do our best to make sure the rules are where they need to be for sure.
You've got a parts supplier and stuff all lined up, or
got a what?
Parts supplier and stuff at the racetrack that's going to be there.
I haven't decided on who's doing that yet. Yeah, we're going to sell tires and fuel at the track. I haven't decided on a part supplier. I think I saw the gentleman that was in here selling parts. Yeah. You're more than welcome to come back and sell parts. You've been there for a long time, and so if you want to come back this year and do that, you're more than welcome to. Appreciate that, and then we'll do the fuel and tires ourselves at the track. No, I've had, everybody knows Dave Mashuga. He's called and he'd like to be the welder guy. If, we can have 2 welder guys there, whatever we got to do. If we need them, we'll have that option for you, for sure. And anybody else that worked there last year or, obviously we have our crew here now, but, people that had concrete spots last year, you're going to get first dibs. We're not trying to rock the boat here. We appreciate everybody. We know that people have been supporting this place for a long time, and you're like your vendors, you guys are more than welcome to get the first shot at working here. And then if you don't want to do it, we can replace you with somebody else. So.
What about your VIP rooms and all that, or your tower rooms? How are you going to do them as far as people buying a room and that kind of thing?
Yeah, the VIP towers, we're getting a lot of calls on those. I haven't looked at the sheet yet. I don't know how many guys have signed up or if anybody, obviously you got the rentals for the VIPs above the grandstands and then above the pits. There are limited. There's...
Question about the concession or?
Yeah, I just wanted to sell alcohol in concession stand.
Yeah, we'll be selling beer there for sure. And what's that?
You gonna sell it? You gonna sell it?
No, Dean will not be selling beer there.
He has nothing to do with concessions?
No.
Tyler bought this place. This is Tyler's Speedway.
Let me tell you, everybody. All right. This is not a lease. This is not an owner finance. This is nothing. I wrote Dean a check for the racetrack, and this racetrack is mine. There's no lien on the place. It's paid for. Also, Dean does get a booth at the pits. He is going to race this year. His son wants to race a car. I don't know what they're going to do. Whatever Dean's done in the past is what anybody's done in the past doesn't matter to me. Everybody's starting over fresh, and everybody's going to have equal opportunity to come race at the track and be a part of it.
He should be able to come there and enjoy himself just
Absolutely.
like anybody else.
Absolutely.
So
And
let bygones be bygones.
You will see Dean's truck there. The main building that he has this race car in, he's The part of the deal of the purchase was to let him stay there for the year. He's got all the stuff there. There's a lot of stuff at this racetrack. I mean, it'd take a guy a long time to get his stuff out of there. So Dean has the building where his race car is for the year, and he has a pit booth. Other than that, that's it with Dean. There's no beer sales, there's no concessions, there's no nothing. So, and I'm not here to knock Dean at all. It was actually a pleasant experience this time going around with Dean to buy the track. So I have no hard feelings, no bad blood with Dean at all. He's very happy. I'm very happy, obviously. So it all worked out great for everybody. So.
We're gonna have motor demos, motorhome demos on the racetrack. So we get more flat tires.
More track work for it.
Only right before your.
I'm gonna have that whole infield hydro seated, so I don't see any demo derbies going on in there.
They'll slide real good there.
Yeah.
Maybe we could use the parking lot.
Right now, I don't have any of that stuff on the schedule. This is a racetrack to go racing on every week.
You are going to do monster truck rides for the kids?
Yeah, another thing, a lot of cool stuff. If you look at the schedule there, it took quite a bit of time to put it together, but, all these organizations with American Legion, Little League Baseball, United Way, Daycare, the Food Pantry, Boys and Girls Club, Salvation Army, SPCA, law enforcement, EMT, everybody that's been a part of the racetrack for the 50, 60 years that's been there. We want to honor everybody. We want to honor all the people that, the veterans, everybody that's associated, we want to honor. And these aren't sponsors. These people didn't call me up and sponsor in the races. These are stuff that we're doing as Outlaw Speedway to honor these individuals, and we're going to do something special for them on every show. The main schedule that will go out to all the businesses and restaurants and all that stuff will be about half the size, but it'll have the sponsors' names on the schedule. And that should be coming out, within 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, or whatever. When that's ready, that'll come out. So, we're excited to do that. Another cool thing is we're going to get the monster truck back going and getting that running and giving free rides for the kids and everybody on that. To do that. Also, Rocky the Clown was a big hit back in the day. I got to get in touch with him to see if he'd like to come back and do that. If not, we'll have somebody else do it. But, a lot of cool things to get the fans back in the stands. Doing a lot of bicycle giveaways. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun place to go to, and it's going to keep getting better and better every week. And we're going to learn and grow as a crew, and, it's going to be pretty exciting for everybody. So.
I know a lot of people that I've talked to that used to come to the racetrack back when we're not at it, they mentioned the fact that you can't bring alcohol from the outside into the track. Are you going to allow alcohol from outside into the track this year?
Well, I've got to apply for my liquor license. So, honestly, I don't know the answer to that question, if you can do that legally, if you have a beer license. I was always a fan of bringing a six-pack in and sitting down drinking a beer, and I will more than welcome do that if you can do that. It's obviously, we like to sell the beer, but if you want to bring your beer, you can bring your beer. But I don't know the answer to that until
more than anything.
I think we'll benefit.
Do they allow them to bring in a six-pack or something?
Certain size.
Well, if you can't bring your beer in, I'll definitely make sure that you can buy a beer at a pretty cheap price so you can enjoy yourself. How's that? Yeah, also there'll be a security team that I'm hiring outside of the track that will take care of security in the pits and the grandstands. So you guys can, that'll be a good deal as well.
Just run the racing going on.
I didn't realize there's a North region rules and a Southern region rules, and in the North region it specifies all big block and small block are 2,400, and that was released just recently.
Well, they can do that.
Southern
Big
rules
block
brings
can't get that
down
light.
per weight per cubic inch rules.
It's going to be the Northern rules, 2,400. I got 3 big blocks. You cannot get a big block to 2,400 pounds. You're going to be at the lightest I think you can get. You're going to be 2,490, 2,500. So, you know, as far as the weight break for the small block versus big block, you're getting 100 pounds difference right now because of that. And, you know, there's no aluminum motors at all in the modified division. I know it's in the rules. I just want to make that clear. No late model aluminum block motors is going to be allowed in the modified division. As far as the tow trucks go, we did get one donated to us. We haven't received it yet, but I thought of two options. Obviously, their things are pretty expensive, but we need something that's reliable and that's going to work. So it's I haven't decided yet. Either I'll buy an up-to-date tow truck and a rollback, or just farm it out to a tow truck company that wants to come in like they used to do back in the day, or you know, get a hold of TNR or some towing outfit that, you know, maybe on Fridays they want to do it. So, you know, that's the key to getting the show right along, is having stuff that works and that's reliable, and so we're definitely looking into that. Yep.
I think you're gonna spend enough money, so maybe you wanna get some other guys to come in
Yeah.
for free.
Hey, I'd love to do it for free, for sure. So.
Yeah, you know. So if anybody knows anybody that might be interested in that, I'm sure that Tyler is all ears to maybe work out a deal where you can barter some sponsorship or what have you. You know, have them get in touch with Tyler.
You know, the guys that worked there last year, as far as packing the track and doing all kinds of whatever over there, you know, we'd love to have you come back again this year. You know, if you can't make it back, then, you know, obviously we'll have to, you know, find some people. But if anybody's looking to be packer drivers or anything at the Speedway that you're looking to do, please fill out a form or sign your name out there so we can get in touch with you. We've got a couple guys on the track prep. Talked to Ron Pavosky the other day on the phone, and so we're going to make sure that that's the biggest key, is getting this track prep down where it needs to be, and consistent every week. So that's one of my major priorities, is having that done.
Where's Victory Lane gonna be? That takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I work every Saturday. 1 o'clock doesn't cut it.
Well, all these things that were put in place, Dick riding with the four-wheeler if he has to, with the horns, and everybody communicating and working together, that's the whole goal here. So you, guys that have to work on Saturday isn't going home at 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, we want you guys out of there. We want to run an efficient show the best we can. We're hoping for, you know, start at 7 to be done by 10. You know, that's our goal. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that happens. And by the horn, when you hear the horn, 5 minutes to get going. I mean, we're doing all this stuff so people can go home the next day. You know, people in the stands don't like sitting there anymore for 5-6 hours. We understand that, you know, so that's one of the big things that we're going to be doing. Yeah, I talked to them about that. What's that?
The cars handle a lot better with them, more competitive.
Yeah, I talked to a handful of people about those. They're like $100 tire from American Racer. Everything he said is everything people are saying. You know, everybody likes them, but you know, that's $400 that you're going to have to spend to come over here and race right out of the box. You know, if everybody in the 4-cylinder division wants to make a rule that you can run those tires or you have to run them, I mean, we'll definitely look at that. But you know, I don't know what everybody's finances is. I don't know if they can afford to do that. You know, that's on you racers. If you guys want to do tires, we can do tires. You know, it's. I think it's a great idea because the tires last a long time.
Even the cheap tires, I mean, street tires, you're still spending $65, $75.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can see week after week the people that are loose coming out and spinning out in front of you constantly. Put everybody on equal playing field, and it would help a lot.
Yeah. So we can definitely put that out there. You know, if you guys want to go to a tire rule, we can definitely do it. I don't want to change the rules itself like that, but you know, if we want to talk about a tire or something,
That would help a lot.
You know.
Comment sheet.
Yeah, don't forget, put your comments on that sheet when you turn it in. You know, we're going to look at everybody's comments, and you know, yeah, anybody can run. You can run 5 classes a night if you want to. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but you do have to pay an extra pass if you're going to run 2 classes for the night. It's got to help for the purse. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're more than welcome to run 2 classes. And what we're going to do too is we'll look at who's doing that, and we'll try to, you know, obviously we want to make sure you're going to take a little bit more time to get out of the car and get into your other car. So, you know, we'll try to make sure that we can make that efficient.
Anybody else got any questions? One thing I wanted to make a comment on, and this gentleman over here had said something about victory lane, and taking so long and this and that. I don't know how, Tyler and I will talk about it, but I think every dog deserves their day. If they win a race, they deserve to be able to do victory lane. I don't care if you're a 4-cylinder or you're a modified. I think everybody deserves that opportunity. If you're a 4-cylinder racer, have you ever been the guy that had to wait till the end of the night and go out there, and when they interview you, you're talking to 3 people that are out in the grandstands? Not a great feeling. I think that it's only fair that everybody gets their opportunity, but at the same time, you as racers can help us to be efficient in getting the pictures taken, getting your people, we've got to keep it at a time that, is conducive to us meeting our needs and our goals for, how long we run the program. So that's where you guys can help us.
Yeah, I told Frank about this there the other day as well. What we're going to do is get into the speedy thing here and making sure you guys are ready to go. So when the gentleman's doing his victory lane, we're going to have the next feature sitting in turn 4 waiting to go. So he can take a little extra time, he can have his interview, and then as soon as he's done, the lineup's already on the racetrack in turn 4 and it's ready to go. So I think the fans will love that. They're not, whatever. So that's going to be great, and it gives the guy an opportunity to have a victory lane.
This brings up another thing when I told him, you gotta be online before the race is over.
Yeah.
It's happened a few times last year.
I mean, when Tommy says time to go, and I've done it myself,
If you're not lined up when the race is starting to go out, you start tap.
Yeah, yeah.
You do that a couple times, we'll figure it out.
We're not going to wait. We can't wait. You know what I mean? You got to be on your game, and when Tommy hollers at you, he's going to be hollering. He's going to be blowing the horn, and we're going to be lined up on the track, ready to go. So.
Also, if you don't take the initial green, you don't race.
Yeah.
You just gotta eliminate.
Are you gonna try and separate the trades from the modifieds in case somebody is doing double duties? You don't have that driver transition wait?
Yeah, that's probably going to be our biggest class that we're going to have to do. I mean, the modifieds will run third every week, so, by this draw, we might have to look at that. Before and after the sportsmen and the mods, we might have to change that. So we'll have to see who's doing it. Sheila made a great point. I know everybody, when they're done racing, they want to get packed up and go home. They want to get paid. The other nice thing about having a victory lane, too, is it gives her a chance to get the finishing lineup over to the payout window so you guys can get paid and get going. So legal fuel for the sportsmen. What was it last year?
They were running racing fuel.
Okay.
What are we running?
That's not
BP.
It's supposed to be pumped.
It could be that 98 too.
Right.
Yeah, you can go up to 98 on those.
You're gonna be selling fuel?
No
Right.
oxygen needed.
We will be selling fuel at the track. So,
I call them.
Are you gonna be selling fuel, or are you gonna have Stewart Fuels and come back?
no, we're doing our own.
And we can test the fuel. We can do a fuel test. Maybe we need to do random fuel testing.
Okay.
I know we caught somebody on the Grit Series, and honestly, the guy he knew he was wrong, and he said, you know what?
Don't waste your time.
He said, I knew I was wrong, and he said, you know what? I have an appreciation for the fact that you guys did that. I respect that. So I think that's something that maybe we could do some random fuel testing to try to keep the,
Illegal fuel, you lost the win, right?
I would
Yeah,
say.
if you
absolutely. That's part
if you
of the
get
rules.
disqualified or you get caught cheating or whatever you're doing, you lose all your money, all your points for the night. If we catch you again doing it, then we're going to strip all your points away. So it's not going to play to cheat over there. It's just not going to work.
Does the fine money go to the point fund, or does it go next down the line?
What's that?
If the fine money, if you get fined, you're illegal, does the fine money go to point fund? Or
Yep.
does it go in that
Yep.
race down the line?
No, we could put it. We could do either or. You could do a point fund or do it to the race.
It'll take you all night to readjust it.
What's that?
It'll take you all night to readjust it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we'll just put it in the points.
I
Yeah,
would
put it right in the point fund.
That would be that's the best way. Yeah.
Hey, easy on the signer.
If the winner gets DQ'd, are you moving the second place up to the first, or is that just
keeping the first place prize, or?
Dick, what's your thought on that?
Honestly, I think we'll have to discuss it, but you gotta find a way that you're not gonna have to all night long readjust the you know what I'm saying? So one way or the other, it's gonna come back to the racers if he puts it in the point fund. Obviously, he's not gonna find somebody illegal so that he can buy groceries next week. That's not the case, you know what I'm saying? So I think that you have to find a happy medium there to, you know.
Yeah, I think if the winner gets disqualified, the money should go.
Right, I think that the second place should get, that they should get their points for winning the race. You know what I'm saying? So, what's that? No. Second place, you know, getting first place points, that kind of thing. Because that can be adjusted later on, you know what I'm saying?
First place point, second place money.
Right. But the money ultimately will go into the point fund.
So like, okay, so like, Carl, like the Empire 100, it's a one-night show. If the first place car gets disqualified, then.
That's up to Tyler, how he wants to do that.
I gotta address that. I gotta be honest with you, that's something we gotta work on, but we can definitely make an announcement. Sure.
One night show, you're going back.
Yeah. All set? All right. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out and really appreciate all the support, and we'll see you at the track.